Hey guys, it's Davis.
And it's Zach. And this is kind of whack.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We're back to another episode of the podcast that you watch or listen to.
6 people on YouTube at least.
Hey, that's watching, or actually,
yeah.
I guess you could listen to that.
I mean, we're not exactly like doing
we're
a lot
not
here.
like, yeah,
It's-
we're not
it's-
doing a lot.
It's not
so.
very...
I mean, I do occasionally put things on screen, like last episode.
You did?
Yeah, at the beginning, because I posted the video late.
Oh. Well, that sounds like you're bro.
Yeah, so.
Did you just... Man, just...
Hope I didn't screw anything up.
Yeah. bruh.
Anyway, today we're going to be talking about injuries that we've had in the past.
Yeah, I don't know how we came up with this, because I didn't. He did.
I'll get into that.
Okay, because I'm very interested to
I
see
can
how
go
you were
first
like...
then.
Please do, because it's like, I want to talk about the injuries we've had over the course of our lives. And I'm like, okay.
Well, first off, it's an interesting topic. Like, who doesn't want to hear about the
that's fair.
pain that we've endured?
That is true. This will get very depressing. I feel.
don't know about that, but we don't have to go the depressing route.
Well, no. You continue.
I just mean like I think that they will find it enjoyable
That's
to hear
fair.
about our pain, because that's a lot of what YouTube is.
Yeah.
And other stuff. So it's just like,
Yeah.
you know,
These heckin' weirdos like watching us in pain.
You weirdos. You want us to hear us in pain. Okay. That got weird. So the reason I came up with it is because on my house over there for you, you can look out the window.
I don't feel like turning.
Okay. Well, we have like a back porch. Underneath that is a concrete area that is for like the swing out there and other things that we can put down there, that so it's not in the mulch,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, there are wooden kind of step things. I don't know what to call them, but it's kind of like a wall that goes up, and it's
a
to
ramp?
keep. Huh?
A ramp.
No, you can. It goes like this, and it's just to keep. It's just wooden, and it's to keep the grass from growing
Oh, okay.
past. And when I was little, I want to say 4 or 5, I was with my friends and we were lightsaber fighting, and we were doing one of those like epic scenes that you think of as a kid, where you're like, oh no, I'm at the edge. I'm gonna die. It's like they're pushing me back on the edge. Well, my idiot brain didn't think, uh-oh, you're out of steps now. So I tried to step backwards with full momentum. No step there. Fell backwards, did a full like flip, and hit my forehead on the concrete, and I can't remember anything until being on a couch that was upstairs.
Oh.
So I looked out there and was like, oh, I got injured out there. Maybe we could do that for a podcast.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know. It's just, well, it's interesting because Mom says I didn't lose consciousness, which I believe that, but I don't remember anything after hitting that. So my brain must have been like, I'm checking out.
That sounds like a concussion, my friend.
Well, we went. I remember I woke up, or my memory started.
Came to.
Yeah. On a couch up there, and upstairs. It's not there anymore. That's why it's kind of hard to explain. And I think we had family over.
Oh, because
As well.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I don't know if it's true though. My brain, it's so hard to tell with my brain what happened because of how frantic it was. So it's hard for me to tell if there actually was family there or not. But from my memory, so my mom might be like, no, you're wrong. But from my memory, my like uncle, I think, was there, and aunt. And I remember waking up and like they were all like standing around me like, is he okay? Like everybody was like freaking out a little bit, which I don't blame them for. And I remember my dad and mom were frantically like trying to be like, hey, you okay? You okay? Because they saw that I woken up. And I don't remember anything after that until I remember us driving to the hospital, and then I remember nothing else. I remember them. The reason I think I remember them in the hospital is because my brain was working, because they were asking me questions. They were like,
Right.
"What's your name? What's
Okay,
our
yeah.
name? Or who are we? What's our names? Stuff like
The
that."
standard memory
The
questions.
reason I think that there was family is because my brother didn't come with us. I don't think. From what I remember, my brother didn't come with us. So, which probably means that he was able to be alone. And if I'm 5 or 6 in this
He's like
memory,
1,
he's
2.
like 3 or 2. So that there's no way. Which is why I think that that family was there. But you know what? I could be completely wrong. I barely remember it because of how messed up my head probably was. But yeah. I mean, I don't think I had any long-term damage, and I don't think I had a concussion.
Okay. I mean,
We
you
don't
probably
think
just
so.
bruised your
Yeah.
head, skull.
And I'm sure that no matter what, getting a hard hit to the head is gonna mess it up a little bit in the short term. So
I mean, because there's do you watch the movie Concussion, right?
no,
Oh, okay. Because it was.
you know me, I don't watch movies that often.
Sorry. It was a movie about the discovery of I forget what it was called, but it's not technically a concussion. It's a different type of head injury.
Ooh,
I don't know if I'm
yeah.
misremembering this, but it's like it's not a concussion, but it's like still bad.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just don't remember the name of it now either.
Mm-hmm.
People are gonna school us in the comments probably.
School.
Yeah. Comment down below what the real answer is if you're on the
YouTube side.
The YouTube side, because I don't remember.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you do get a brain injury, but it's not long term like a concussion.
Well, it's long term, but it's just less noticeable.
Oh, so maybe in like 10 years, I'll start seeing side effects.
Because I mean, the way it was discovered was in football players, so it was like the repeated like injury.
Oh,
And I mean, it's still like serious on its own, but yeah.
okay, interesting. I mean, I'm just glad that I wonder if I got like. Maybe that could explain why I don't remember a ton from my childhood. No, I don't know.
I mean, a lot of people.
To be fair, I literally don't remember a ton from like earlier than that.
I mean, that is
So
the
that
age,
could be
though.
that could be age, but that also could be partially because of that.
In theory.
I'm not a doctor. I have no idea, but I'm just thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah.
It is an interesting theory
It is. I mean,
because there is like the I can't if my psych teacher was watching, she would be so disappointed because I don't remember the name. It's like retrograde amnesia is. I think retrograde is the one where you can't remember memories from before the accident.
that's retro. So
I think so. Because
Previous.
I just feel like there was like a weird flip in some of the words, and I don't know if it was that specifically. Because there were some psych terms that I learned, and I was like, that doesn't sound like it would be, but okay.
okay.
I don't know. I don't know if it was that one specifically, but I don't know. It's just interesting to think about. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, possibly, but I doubt it because I mean, like around 5, that's the gray
Yeah.
area for memory stuff.
That's fair. I don't know. So, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll start off with the big one.
Okay.
Around, I think I don't think I was even 6 months old. We were driving home from I think one of my sister's piano lessons. I can't remember what it was, and we were driving home from something.
Your sister plays piano as well? Sorry.
Yeah, no, she did a while ago, but she doesn't anymore.
Oh,
that's
somebody
actually-
else had to take up the mantle.
I wouldn't say that. It's just like I kept going, and she was like, no.
Fair.
But yeah, we were driving home, and we were stopped, and a guy, I think it was an 18-wheeler, drunk driver.
Uh-oh.
The back half of her car disintegrated.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're in the hospital. Both my sister and I got brain injuries from that.
Wow.
I think it was in my brainstem.
Do you remember? Oh, you don't remember it.
I wasn't even
Of course
6
not.
months old.
I forgot already. That's good. Maybe there is memory problem.
But yeah, I mean, bleeding in brainstem didn't seem too good. I didn't know that this wasn't normal until I was like, I have a dent in the very top of my head too.
Oh.
Like it's like a little dip.
Well, it's funny because I used to think that I had like a bump for like a long time, but it was just my brain being like, you
Oh
definitely
no,
have
like
an interest.
legit. There's a
I
a
believe
divot.
you. I just think it's interesting because you actually have something from it, and I thought I did for like a few years at least. And then I checked once, and I was like, no, they're the same size on both sides. I don't know. I'm kind of dumb. I think it's just the brain overcompensating though.
Yeah,
But
that's
that's
fair.
interesting.
I mean, I guess so. I was just like, oh yeah, everybody has like a little dent in the top of their head, and I actually Brian and Andrew.
You like felt somebody's head and was like, ah.
Well, no, I forget what the basis of the conversation was, but I was talking to Brian and Andrew, and I'm like, the thing on the top of your head, and they're like, what?
The dip on the top. You don't have that.
You
It's
don't
like,
have that?
What?
And I asked my dad about that. I'm like, that doesn't seem normal. He's like, oh, it was probably the car accident. And I'm like, oh,
That's not a good. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
But yeah, I mean, we were in the hospital. It didn't seem too good at first, and then because they had me, I'm like the small infant child, and they have me like hooked up with all these wires and stuff, and the nurses calmed down when they saw me having the energy and the willingness to be like ripping this stuff off of me and like screaming at them like, what are you doing?
That's
So they're like,
awesome.
he's okay.
That's awesome. Do you know if you have any long term from that?
I don't know.
That's scary.
Yeah,
That's more terrifying.
because I mean I guess I could in theory, but I don't really know.
Because I mean, I feel like the brainstem's kind of an important part of your body.
Because I don't really know the brain's anatomy very well, but isn't the brainstem just about like transmission mainly? It's not very personality based.
Maybe, could. I don't know.
don't know.
I don't know either, man. I know Gavin wanted to be a brain scientist
person,
at
yeah.
one point, and now he's like a tree man.
Tree man. Tree man.
He is though.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just interesting to think about, but
I mean,
I don't
in
know.
theory, I could be a different person if that hadn't happened, but I don't know.
I
I doubt
well,
it,
but maybe from the top of your head pushing on your brain.
I mean, I
I don't know if
guess.
that's how that works though. I don't know the shape of your skull compared to the shape of your brain.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how that works.
Yeah. I have no clue.
I will say though, that's the reason that the dent. That's interesting because like babies have to do like tummy time and that kind of thing because if they don't, when they're laying on their back, they can get like flat back heads.
Yeah, because their
It's the
skulls are
same
very
principle,
soft. Yeah.
but the top of your head got deformed and they couldn't fix it
I mean, because we had
because you have malleable bones.
well, because that actually also happened to my sister. I don't think it was on the top of her head. I think it was in her forehead. But
oh,
because we had cans of dog food in the back, so when they hit, the dog food cans went flying.
oh wow,
Yeah,
dang.
not good.
No, that isn't good.
Yeah,
That's rough.
Yeah.
Do you have any other?
I do. But why you want you?
I'm now that I'm thinking about how many injuries have I had over the few. Oh, have I told the pinky story on this podcast yet?
You haven't told it here. I love this story.
Have I not told this story?
Nope.
I'm gonna feel horrible if I've told this story. Did I tell it with Ben?
No, I don't think so.
That shows how much we remember from this podcast.
It's a blur.
We
It's a
just
blur.
talk, and then at the end we're just like, yeah, okay,
It's
see
fine.
you later.
It's
And then
fine.
2 days later, we're like, what did we talk about?
I have no recollection. Yeah. No.
This one we'll probably remember. Well, I apologize if I've told this story and you're like an avid follower. If you're a new person, enjoy the story. So I was outside. It's funny because never mind. I'll tell you after. But actually, it's funny because it involves your girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Did you know that part of the story?
Vaguely.
Okay, so your girlfriend at the time you didn't even know she existed, but she was hanging out with a guy and they were like kind of getting together. It was weird. It was a weird situation.
I mean, it's middle school.
It's middle school though. So it's like, and Ben was trying to intrude on that and I was kind of not. Like I was like
Just
I was
present.
there. I was there, but I was like I had walked over, I think, and I saw that happening and I saw Ben was about to do it. Either that or we were all four in a conversation and they wanted to be alone. And I was like, hey, Ben, we should give them space. And Ben was like determined not to give them space. really painting a bad light for Ben.
Rip Ben.
He was very different in middle school. He got really angry and tried to like death poke me. So I tried to like block it with my left hand, because when you see somebody attacking you, what is your first instinct? To block it, right? Well, I was hoping it was going to hit like the center of my hand. If you don't know what a death poke is, I feel like I should explain this. It's where you like take your two fingers, this is weird, and you jab it into somebody's sides.
Like just under the ribs.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't have the wind out of them.
Sides or stomach, usually sides.
It's not like
are worse.
Actually damaging, but it like knocks the wind out of them. It hurts, but it's not like
it doesn't hurt. Yeah. Well, you say it's not damaging, but the force
if
he was
it hits
going
where
at,
it's supposed to,
right? The force he was hitting at, it bent my finger back to the point, like it was so fast that I couldn't really tell, but it made a loud popping noise, and I knew something was wrong. So I go like this, and I'm like, oh, and at first it didn't hurt, and then the swelling started.
Yeah,
and
that's when you know.
Oh my gosh, the pain. It actually wasn't horrible, but I think that was mostly because it was numbing pain. So it was like it got to a point in which it was just the same, and so my brain was kind of like, all right, we're gonna chill this out.
Oh yeah, because right after trauma, there's like endorphins and a lot of chemicals that like
adrenaline.
Boom. Yeah, it's like you're not gonna feel that until a little bit after, but once you do feel it, you're not gonna be able to use that part of your body.
No. So it was literally
double
this big. It was like
that's like triple,
like this big. You guys can't see it. I have really skinny fingers, but they were like it was really big. For those on the YouTube,
imagine
side,
like a
big.
kielbasa.
It was
a sausage.
It was big. It was huge, and it was turning purple.
Yeah.
And I go up. Honestly, though, my brain might be making it bigger than it was, just because I had the trauma. But I remember being this big. I know it was purple. There's no way. At least the bottom was purple. I walk up to the PE teacher. It hadn't fully swelled up. It hadn't fully swollen yet. And I walk up to him and I'm like, Ben hurt my finger really bad. And he's like, you're probably fine. But I don't know. You'll have to go to the office. And I was like, well, I would call my dad, but we have to take pictures for orchestra. So I can't. I'll call him after though. And he was like, I don't know. I feel like you should do it. And I was like, but I'd feel so bad if I wasn't there. These pictures used to be on the school website for a long time. They're not there anymore, but I don't think. But you can't even tell in the photos. I don't know why. It's probably because of the lighting, but you couldn't tell how swollen it was or the purpleness. And basically what he said was, my orchestra teacher, he said, that looks bad. You're going to have to take these photos. So just hold it on there and pretend like you're playing. They're just photos. So it doesn't matter what you sound like. Just pretend. I was like, okay. Needless to say, I did not play well.
Yeah. Yeah. Because isn't the pinky important for shifting positions?
Well, it goes 1, 2, 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So yes, it's kind of important. I was horrible at bass back then, I would say. I was okay, but I didn't understand a lot of the basic stuff because I didn't really take any lessons. I just kind of said, I'll play the bass.
I'll play the bass.
And it wasn't until freshman year that I started taking lessons, and it wasn't even consistent. I learned a lot of my stuff from single lessons, just stuff I learned over time, some YouTube videos. But then once I really started getting a consistent teacher, I started getting a lot better, and I actually started enjoying it more.
Yeah.
At least a little bit more. I don't know if I'm going to do it in college, but I liked it more than I did before, which is good. But anyway, yeah. So I had it was so awkward, but then as soon as I was done, I forgot to add this. We had to change into concert attire. Ooh. So imagine having a limp finger it's not limp. It's limp because I don't want to move it in case it's broken and it'll be shooting pain every time I touched it. It was pain. So I was like, this is gonna be hard. And because it's dress whites, which means they have the sleeve,
The cuffs and
which
the,
I going like this. I like took them off, slowly slid on each arm, just so that, and then I did the cuffs. Oh boy, that was rough. Putting on the pants, I think, was the worst part though, because usually you grab both
them.
sides, so I had to like grab it like this to a degree. Oh man, that was tough.
Yikes.
But then I was like, as soon as the picture was done, I sprinted to the bathroom and changed back and sprinted to the office and was like, call my dad right now. I'm in pain.
Yeah.
Because I think, honestly, I don't remember it hurting throughout the pictures. And I think that was because of all the adrenaline of like, they're taking pictures of me.
You have to be like,
so it was like, I don't remember that at all. But then I remember as soon as I like went back to the office, I was like holding it like this, like,
I am dying. Get me relief.
Yeah. So here's the funny thing. My dad almost didn't take me to the hospital. Not because he didn't think it was broken, just because he thought he wasn't broken. So he was just like, we're going to take you to the hospital, but I don't think it's broken. He was just
probably
like,
fine.
It's probably fine, but we're going to take you just in case. They took it. The person looked at it and was like, we're going to take an x-ray of that. Took an x-ray and they were like, yeah, this part, which is like the knuckle, yeah, it's chipped off. You literally have dislocated it, but in the hardest way possible.
Yeah.
So that means my hand is broken. Or my pinky. So they were like, okay, now we're gonna stick this needle in your hand and we're gonna put it back into place and then we're gonna put a thing on it. And I was like, fun. So they like stuck a needle. I don't remember how long it was, but my brain is telling me that it's like this long. I don't think it was like this long, but it feels, because I was so stressed that everything just enlarges when you get stressed. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Everything that's stressful just becomes longer.
Fear just like makes everything that much
so it's just
more.
like, and I remember it hurting, like the stinging pain of like,
I mean, because of that, those types of needles are used pretty consistently, and they're not small needles. No, they're like,
because they use the same type for like cavities and stuff.
Yeah, they're big needles.
And I've heard that those hurt. So it's the same pain. But then after that, it's funny because my mom arrived after she heard that it was broken. So she like drove over. Actually, it might have been before that, but I think she probably freaked out after Dad called and was like, yeah, his finger's not well. So she like stress drove over, and she's not good with like blood and stuff and like anything medical. And so she was like lying down and in a bed. She was the one lying down on the bed and like super like flush. And I wasn't like that until they started moving it.
Oh yeah, because they're like, okay, let's see what's wrong, and then it's like,
no.
Oh no,
they didn't touch it before that. They just took an x-ray. They numbed it and had to move it back into place. And that's what got me. It was this is gonna be gross. I apologize. The bone touching bone.
Oh yeah,
was terrible. And the fact that they're just moving my pinky freestyle into its right place.
because there's no joint attached.
No, so it's just like yeah, it was terrifying. And that's when I started getting woozy, because I also don't do well in hospitals. Usually with myself though, I'm completely fine. Like blood drawing, I don't faint from that. I don't do that. Shots don't really get me. I get stressed about them because it's like a needle in my body, but like I don't faint or anything. I think when I first the first time I got, maybe the second time when they actually felt the needle go in. The first time I got my blood drawn, I felt nothing. That doctor was a god. But the second time, it was bad. I think I was a little woozy, but when I got Accutane, I had to do it every other week or every month. And so I just got used to it. Like now I'm like, okay, take blood, whatever. It's like a little stressful, but like I know that it's not going to do any long lasting effects. So it's just like, yeah. But yeah, that was fun.
Oh, God.
And then after that, they put like a little splint thing on me.
Oh yeah, and you got to walk around with this like
They
roll
put
of
these
a
together. They put
Yeah.
these together so that it aligns. It's funny because that was like right before spring break. I feel like it was like the day before spring break, which is interesting timing. It was around there anyway, and I can't remember exactly. It was either the I think it was the last week of school. I don't remember if it was the last day, but it was definitely the last week before spring break, and we were going skiing. So like for the first few days of having this broken pinky, they had like the little like cloth thing on it, but then we called the doctor and they were like, let's just slap a cast on there. You're going skiing and we don't want it to be in serious danger.
Yeah.
It's weird though because my first cast went all the way to like here, even though it was just here. Like if you go,
Really?
you can go on my Instagram. I'm not giving my Instagram to these people, but if you go on my Instagram, you can see it. It goes down to like here. But then my second one only went to like here.
That's weird.
It was weird.
Because most of the times when you see broken finger, well, I guess because if it was the joint that shattered, it's important to have the prop. Okay, that makes sense.
Maybe, yeah. But I don't know. The second one was here, so it was just so yeah. But yeah, that was my pinky story. That's probably the last injury I can remember
Oh,
actually.
good for
I don't,
you.
I don't have a ton. I mean, I can talk about weird things that have happened to me, like disease wise, or like I talk about my liver thing all the time. Like,
Yeah.
I have weird things that happen to me, but I don't get injured a ton. Part of that is because I stay inside. You know, part of that's because I stay inside. I mean, I can talk about some things, but I don't think they're appropriate. Like, because they're like pains that I've had, but like I can't talk.
Oh,
about
I know
that.
what you mean. You told me about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like, yeah. But that's like the worst. I think that's probably the worst injury I've had. That was the second worst. I don't know if I've had any others beside like I was biking. Oh, I fell.
My knee. Oh,
my
shin.
knee scraped.
Yeah.
Because I definitely had some of those early on in life, but once I hit like middle school, I kind of stopped going
doing things.
outside, other than at school. So it was just like, eh.
Yeah. Yeah. So, because for me, there's only two. Because I got hurt quite a bit in like middle school. Like
Sure.
it was kind of just a regular occurrence for me. I was a durable child though.
Oh,
'Cause,
you bounced back.
Well, I did.
Well, you're the sick boy, so I don't know if bounce back is the right word.
Well, physically, I was a lot more durable. Like it took a lot to like physically hurt me
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, I did ninjutsu like multiple times a week.
Yeah.
And because I was one of the bigger kids,
Spin.
no, but I would be the ones that the teachers would use. Like they'd have me hold the bag and they'd be like, okay, I'm going to demonstrate this kick on Zach. And I'd be there because I'm not a physical tall child, but I was on the tubbier side. So I was like dense and I'd like stand there and they'd kick me and I'd literally, the force would make me like roll and do a somersault. But it was like, okay, that's just the Tuesday. I'd get back up. I'm like, okay, I could go again.
Wow. Okay.
But I think I'll do the one that happened first. In sophomore year of high school,
Okay.
gym class,
Okay.
we're having a nice game of volleyball, and
Your mom is texting. Whoa. Why is that your text
I made that.
sound? It's like no.
I actually went like when I was
But
typing it
why?
in, because it's startling.
Yeah, but like that's why you wake up whenever I text you.
Exactly.
But I don't understand why you don't just set it to do not disturb mode.
Moving on.
That's a different problem.
We're playing volleyball. It's nice. It's fun. And one of the kids on the other team, they're like, "Oh, I'm really tired. I'm gonna go sit down for a little bit." And it's like, "Oh, but we don't have enough people now." And so our coach was like, "Hey, I can fill the spot." And so he serves. Well, no, he doesn't serve. We start the round match. I don't know.
Wait, which sport is this?
Volleyball.
Okay. I got distracted.
Ball goes up, gets hit over to their side, and I'm in the front because he was like
Okay.
teaching us the rotations of people and stuff. And I'm in the front, and I'm not in the front. I'm in the middle. Right.
Okay.
There's a big
Yeah.
And what happens is coach is in the front on his side, and he jumps and he spikes it, and it bounces off someone's hand directly into my face.
Oh,
That's and
nice block though.
oh yeah, yeah. Um, it was bad because I fell over. I remember that, and my glasses actually flew forward
How does that
about 10 feet.
Okay. Did
Well,
they
I'm
snap
assuming
in half?
no, they didn't. They lasted.
Dude,
It's not
what a
these glasses,
tank.
but
What a tank.
yeah, I don't know how they went in front of me, but they did. I was
Yeah, I was like, that's not how physics work. But
well, I'm assuming like they flexed and then the flex went like, oh, I don't know. But I'm like, I don't feel good. Let me sit down for a minute before I get back into the game because I'm like, I'm probably fine. I just got hit in the face with the freaking volleyball.
yeah.
And so I sit down and I'm like, I feel kind of nauseous. And then I'm looking because I had my glasses back, but I have them off because my face hurts.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm like, there's like this weird smudge in my vision that's not going away. I'm like, that's probably not normal.
That's really distracting.
And I'm like, it's like a crescent moon and it's not going away. And wherever I look, it's there. And that's probably not good.
That's not how that should work.
But I'm like, you know what? It's probably, it hit my eye. Maybe it janked up my eye a little bit. I'm probably okay. Whatever. And so I'm like, you know what? It's about lunchtime. I'll get my food. We had debate club. It was still really early on. And debate club was, no, it wasn't. I forget what reason. It was either debate club or I needed to do some work in our history teacher's room. And so
I was never a part of the debate club.
yeah, sad.
I'm not great at that.
That's fair.
My only argument is your mom.
That's true. He does that every time I try and like have a conversation.
That's not
with him.
true. When I actually have an argument, I have an argument. But when you're giving me an argument that I don't follow, it's like I don't know how to debate.
When
this.
it's like over your head, you're like, your mom.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Most of the things that I argue about, I know about.
That's
but when it's like, you know.
Yeah. Either way, I get in there and I have my food. I'm sitting down and I'm like eating. And then like I'm in pain, but I'm not in like exorbitant amounts of pain. And then I'm sitting there and I'm eating my food and my hands start shaking.
Oh no.
And I'm like, that's probably not good. And then not from pain or anything, but I just start crying. Like I don't mean to be crying. I don't have like a feeling to be crying, but I just start tears streaming down my face. And my teacher looks over at me and he's like, that's not good. You should go.
Yeah, you should go home.
And so I walked to the office. But what was interesting was I ran into I think she was in the grade above us at the time.
Okay.
I forget if she was or wasn't, but she was like, she saw me from far away, and I'm walking towards her, and she's like, "Oh, hey, Zach."
Oh, can we say that name?
I don't know.
Dude, you gotta lap it on your phone so I can bleep it out.
Lap.
There we go. Okay.
Cool.
Now I'll find it.
But yeah, and she's like, "Oh, hey, Zach," and then she walked closer to me, and she sees I'm like, not sobbing, but there's tears falling down my face, but I'm not crying, so it looks very creepy. I was told.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, and she's like, "Oh, are you okay?" And I'm like, "No." And then I kept walking to the office. My mom picked me up. We went straight to the doctors, and they're like, "Yeah, you got a concussion. Yeah."
Oh.
So that wasn't fun. I kind of slept for a week. I read, but I didn't watch TV or do anything with a lot of stimulation.
Sure.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that wasn't fun.
No, I'm sure that wasn't fun.
Yeah, I know.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
You don't see that crescent moon anymore, right?
Oh, no. But what I was told, actually, that's a very common symptom. I think it was called an aura or something like that. And that's like that's a thing that happens.
Huh.
And apparently they
know
also
there
just
was a-
happen sometimes randomly when you get severe migraines, and they're like, we don't know why, but that just happens sometimes. Because that happened in bluegrass class, remember? I was sitting there and I'm like, I can't see. There's this shape and I can't see. And then I had to leave.
Yeah. I do remember that. Oh my gosh, that class was a mess. But
Yeah.
Dang, that's interesting. I don't know. Huh. I never heard of that symptom before, though.
Yeah, a visual.
You might have
effects.
told me about it, but I don't remember.
Well, you see, I wouldn't claim to be an expert in concussions.
Of course not.
But my sister's had, I think, over 10.
Whoa.
So I kind of know a little
Holy
bit.
moly.
Yeah, she used to do horseback riding. And then, after you've had one, it's much easier to get them again. So each subsequent one makes it that much easier to get one.
Wait, why?
I don't know why, but
Relativity?
no, I think it's because like previous injury makes you weaker or something to it.
Oh.
But I mean, like, yeah, she hit her head on the side of the car one time. Like, that was hard, but it wasn't overtly hard, and she got a concussion from that. So it's like
Interesting.
each one makes you
Weakhead.
that much more. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, that wasn't fun.
No, I'm sure that wasn't. Wow, that's crazy. I can't believe that it wasn't even that hard, but you just boom, and then concussion.
Yeah.
I do wonder what that crescent moon means. Was it in both your eyes?
It
Do you know? You probably don't know. You probably were freaked out.
it was like right on my left. It wasn't totally left. It was off center on the left, so I assume it was my left eye.
Yeah, that's probably then your left eye. That's interesting.
And it was like this spot circle moon thing that warped the air.
Oh.
It was very trippy, and I'm like,
That sounds like something that would be in like a show or something.
I'm
where-
like,
where
I'm
it's like
either-
a portal to another dimension. You're either seeing something.
oh yeah,
like-
I either have something very wrong with my eye,
or you
or-
gained a power.
yeah, like I'm seeing into the astral plane. Like something's happening. I don't know which it is, but
You just reach out and you go into another world. Maybe concussions are the way into that world.
oh, that's
Oh,
no.
it's like how like acid is a way into like the plane in a show that I watched one time.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but like if you did acid, you could get to another dimension. It was
Weird.
a weird show. Yeah, but it was just interesting. It's like that's weird that it was warping space, or it looked like it.
Well, because it wasn't like one color.
Well, at first I thought that you had chipped an eye piece
And you mean like my
the-
detached my retina?
or something like that. Well, the retina is hard as well as soft.
Yeah.
So you could put a hole in it.
Yeah.
So I was like, did you put a hole in your retina? Or something like that. I didn't know if that's what it was. I was like, I don't know how that would affect your eyesight.
I was like, and you're like, maybe you. And I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that started in bluegrass class, not the concussion. And I'm like, the page just, because we're looking at music while we're playing. And I'm like, I can't read it because it's moving.
You just Obitoed it.
Yeah, pretty much. And then like about 5 minutes after that happens, the crippling migraine. Like it was so bad. I'm just sitting there holding my head.
Why that class? Why did that make so many people have migraines?
I don't know. It was a fun class.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
but like at least 3 people got horrible migraines,
Yeah.
which was interesting.
Maybe it's the band room.
It's cursed.
Oh, I was gonna say maybe there's like some type of asbestos or something, but
Oh well, we're not there anymore, so it doesn't matter.
check the walls just
yeah,
in case.
yeah. If you're watching and you're going back to, oh shoot, I can't say that. If you're going back to our high
we
school,
don't go there anymore.
That's true, but lap it. If you're going back to our high school, then yeah,
Have fun with that.
yeah, figure that
The
out.
band room's gonna kill you.
Okay, don't say that. Now they won't get any more band or orchestra
Sorry.
kids.
It's full of fluffy unicorns, fluffy unicorns,
Fluffily?
fluffily rabbits and unicorns,
Yes.
and a chocolate river.
Dude. Now
Willy
I'm
Wonka.
hungry for chocolate. Good job.
Oh, but the other injury that I remember.
Oh.
Because I don't know if I've talked about it, but I was on the cross country team for 2 years.
Yo.
And I'm like,
Imagine doing sports. I almost, if Corona hadn't happened this year, I would have done the swim team.
so I used to be on a swim team, actually.
If I did too. If there's anybody watching who's on the swim team, Corona stopped me. It's not my fault. I totally would have joined though.
I mean,
no joke.
honestly, though, like swimming in water that people share with pandemic is like,
I don't want to do that. So
Yeah.
it was just like if Corona hadn't happened, totally would join the swim team.
Yeah.
This year or senior year, I guess.
Yeah. Senior year.
But like
Yeah.
didn't get to. I tried for the basketball team, didn't get a spot. It's
Right.
partially because for the first hour, I know this is way off topic, but for the first hour, they made us do exercising. Like they did like serious exercise,
Cardio stuff.
like push-ups and
Oh, push-ups too. Yeah.
like oh yeah, like frick, what's the word for it? I don't know, just tons of workout stuff, like trying to
Like mainly muscle stuff or running too, or
all of it. Like
Ah.
not like lifting weights, but like
your body weight
push-ups
type
and
stuff. Yeah.
sit-ups.
Oh, there's a
And
word for that.
We ran I don't know how long. And what made me angry is that like I tried my hardest. I'm just not that athletic, which is partially my fault because I don't exercise that often, but you know, and I literally tried my best. And I was even one of the people that like kept running. Like
yeah. Yeah. Some
another
people
person
stop.
who didn't got on the team. Here's the thing. I was so tired that I played horribly afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't help that. You make us work out for an hour and then you expect us to be at our best for another. My arms were terrible. I mean, like, I was just sore all over. And he's like, all right, now you're going to run up and down this court again. I'm like, this isn't for me. Conditioning. That's the word.
Yep.
It's funny because he was then like, yeah, we're going to be doing conditioning every practice. And then my friend comes up to me later on and is like, yeah, we didn't work out like at all. I was like, what? Oh my gosh. Oh well, that's okay. It was probably a good missed opportunity, but it was still like,
Yeah.
wow. Thanks for that. All right. Anyway, back to your story.
Yeah,
That was a rant. I just had to.
No. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't super great because I have low stamina. Like, I'm fine doing stuff that's not related to running. Like, if I'm stationary or at least I'm doing stuff in bursts, like I can sprint, but as long as I'm not continuously going, I'm
Sure.
okay. And the thing is, cross country is the opposite of that. So I was not great.
Oh yeah, of course.
I got better. Like, my fastest was not a good mile time, but it wasn't a terrible mile time. I think it was like a 7:40 something.
Well, the more you run, the more your body's
Exactly.
like, yes, running. Not true. But the more your body is, well, the more stamina you get. I guess,
Exactly.
Is the thing.
And it was at like, I think it was the second year because I'd been running continuously. I was like running every day over the summer, like building up my stamina. I was getting better. And then it was the first race of the season. And I'm running and I'm like doing the best time. That's actually when I got my best mile time.
Oh.
And I'm going, I'm like, I feel the burn, but I can keep going. I feel like I can actually do this.
Let's go.
And then about a quarter mile, maybe a little more, there's a route because it's a forest trail.
Oh.
And my foot gets caught and it rolls like completely around. And there's a popping noise, very audible.
That's like my pinky.
Yeah, I fell over, but I like immediately jumped up and kept going. And that was the mistake because I kept running on it for the last while.
Oh.
But you see the adrenaline and like the race, like the race competitive
Yeah,
mindset.
I know. I would have done the same thing, but like, actually, I don't know if I would have. I probably would have just whined.
I mean, like it hurt though, but because of the adrenaline, it was a manageable to pain.
Yeah,
Like,
but I'm not good at pain, so like I probably would have just sat and been like, it'll probably be fine if I just wait.
I mean, yeah,
That's just how my brain works.
that's fair.
But-
Yeah.
I can see that. Maybe I would have if I was really into it.
Well, because that was
You
part
were
of it.
really into it.
I was like, this is the best I've ever run. I need to keep
I'm just
going.
not good at cross country. So.
Yeah. Well,
But
because
yeah.
it was the first race that I hadn't needed to stop in terms of like slow to a walk.
Sure.
Because it's a 5K and I've
course.
not great stamina. So, but yeah, like I'm
How
like
long was left, you think? Like a mile?
quarter mile,
Okay.
a bit more.
Oh, then not that long. Okay.
I mean, it was still, maybe it was like a half mile.
Oh, that's a lot. Yeah.
It,
okay.
it was a decent chunk. So I'm like, it hurts, but I'm going to just keep going because I know if I stop, I won't be able to keep going because that's like the mindset.
Sure.
and I cross the line and I stop and I'm
you
like,
collapse.
I don't. I start limping. And I'm like, I rolled it really bad. And I'm like, this hurts so much, but I did it. I'm so happy. It'll feel better tomorrow.
You idiot.
Well, you see, one of my friends, we were the ultimate frisbee coaches, and he was on the cross country team too. And he grabbed a disc, and we were throwing it around, and I was hopping around on one foot doing that, and my mom saw that, and she's like, "We should go to the doctor." And
Good
I'm
idea.
like, "No," and she believed me.
What is wrong with you? Oh, you could have. Oh,
So
that's why you can't run as long anymore.
yeah, I have weak whatever
Knees.
not knees, ankle.
Weak knees.
But
If you'd gone to the doctor, you might have been able to fix that.
I doubt it. I wake up the next morning and I go to get out of bed, or I don't even make it like sitting up out of bed before I'm like, I can't walk on this. I will die.
Why didn't you go to the doctor, Zach?
Well, we went then. I'm like, I'm not going to school today. I need to go to the doctor. And what kind of bothered me was they never told me if it was just a severe sprain or a break. They were like, we could x-ray you, but it's like, eh. So they just gave me a foot cast. I walked around in that for a long time. It hurt a lot.
I barely remember that.
Yeah, that,
gonna be honest.
Robbie doesn't remember it at all, which surprised me.
Well, I think it was probably because it was first semester and we didn't talk.
That's fair.
So it was just like, oh, there's that guy with the boot, but I don't remember it.
It was not good. But yeah,
I don't know if they can see that, but
because after I got it off, I had to go to physical therapy.
fun.
So much fun. I had to do a lot of balance stuff and it was significant how weak that ankle was in comparison to my fine ankle. And I'm like, this hurts. And they're like, yeah, that's the point. It's supposed to be rebuilding muscle. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. You don't have a choice.
Of course, you don't have a choice. It's interesting for me because my physical therapy was just move your pinky.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, I think that I've still been building it back over time. They were just okay, every day, because eventually I got the
tape.
no, it's not a cast, but it's the Velcro.
Oh, it's the soft brace.
Yeah, brace. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that I could take off.
Yeah.
And they were like, don't take this off for the next, or only take this off when you're showering.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of thing. And they were like, only take it off when you're showering and for the next week or two. And then after that, take it off every night and do a few grab motions and then put it back on and sleep with it. And then eventually we went back and they were like, okay, now you can stop sleeping with it. You can wear it through the day and then stop sleep with it or whatever. Mm-hmm. Or maybe it was the opposite. I don't remember exactly how it went. But honestly, in my opinion, I think that I don't know if I'm still working on it, but I feel like I'm still working on it because guitar has never been the same. It's always been harder to play with my pinky. I don't know if that's just because I had a weak pinky before, but it's just it's harder to use. And so I think over time, bass lessons have really helped this though. He's been doing pinky exercises with me. I know that sounds weird, but it's a really important finger. So honestly, the most useless finger is the second finger. It's not useless, but it's the least used out of all of the three.
Right.
Well, third finger, I guess, is the least used technically, because you really only use it for harmonics and thumb position. But you press it down with your pinky to do fourth finger. So it's because unlike cellos where it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and violins and violas, for bass it's 1, 2, 4.
Okay.
1, 2, 4.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's another thing that I forgot about. So yeah, but I'm sure your physical therapy was worse because you had to walk on it.
Oh, I had to go to a center. And there was this lady who was like, okay, stand on this exercise ball.
It's like when people have been in coma for...
Yeah.
Except that's way longer.
Way
but,
worse and way longer. But yeah, it was like...
Did it hurt to try to get your muscle back?
It felt weird because walking with a cast for so long, it's the cast makes you like this much taller, even when you're wearing shoes. And so I'm used to like that weird gait, and walking around like that for a long time, it makes it weird to walk or even run. Running
Sure.
was so weird because she had me run on the treadmill for like 5 minutes just to like see what my feet positioning were
course.
like. And it was weird. It didn't hurt necessarily because by the time I started physical therapy, I was completely healed up. I was just rebuilding strength. But they it was interesting when I first went to the physical therapy center. They were like, okay, let's see your feet, and so we can get like a look at what the damage is.
Oh yeah.
And so they were comparing my feet, and I'm like, what are you doing? And she was like, okay, so you see how I can move this like this? And I'm like, okay, yeah. And then she takes the one that was injured, and she's like, you see how I can do this? And it was like so much more motion. I'm like, oh, it's not good.
No, that's not good.
So yeah.
Interesting. So that's cool, or not cool, but like that's interesting to hear about. I a world I haven't dabbled in, luckily.
Yeah.
I just knocked on some wood for those who couldn't see it. I think everybody couldn't see it because it's below me. Just because I don't want that. I don't want that experience. I'm gonna do that again.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I've only like you only see it in movies. In my opinion, like most people don't know what it's like to do that. But like I've actually known quite a few people that have had it happen. Like you, which I'm just learning now, I guess. My aunt actually had it done. I can't remember what she did to hurt it, but that was really rough because like she hated sleeping with her boot. I don't think she broke it, but I think she sprained it really bad, and so she had a boot, not a cast.
Oh, she had to sleep with the boot because I had a boot cast.
Yeah.
I didn't have to sleep with that.
Yeah, she had to sleep with it.
Oof.
And I was like, "Ew, in your bed? Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh."
Not fun.
It's like the only time you take it off is in the shower.
Oof. Yeah.
So she was telling the story of how she was wiping it down with Clorox.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that it wasn't, ugh.
Yeah, because you don't put on shoes. You walk around with the boot on, and it gets nasty.
Of course.
Yeah.
Ugh. So was the cast an actual cast or was it like a boot?
It was a boot.
Oh, okay.
They were like, yeah, when you can take it off when you go to sleep, but wear it when you're walking around.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah.
I'd be scared that like if I'd be the paranoid person where it's like if I take it off when I go to sleep, I'm gonna like forget if I have to go pee at 3 a.m.
I did that once.
Oh, I knew it.
But it wasn't the thing where like I did it and then I remembered. It was I got out of bed to go and then I'm like, pain. Let me put on the boot.
Yeah, that's oof. Yeah, because I can't even imagine like standing up. Because wait, did the boot not hurt? The boot didn't hurt at all when you put it on.
Because the way the boot, it has like a series of straps, and what it does is it supports and distributes weight.
Oh, so
in a
like
way.
holds your foot in place in like a cushion.
Yeah. So it completely removes a lot of the pressure that would be on the ankle, or at least mine did.
Okay. I mean, never had it, so I'm genuinely curious about what it's like.
Well, in addition, I had this, I forget what it was called, but it's this stretchy bandage tape fabric. I don't know what it is. It was a wrap. And so I had to wrap my foot up every time. And it also added a little springiness and support naturally in addition to the boot. So that helped.
Oh, okay. Well, I know the first thing I got with my pinky was a wrap. And then they were like, we're either going to move you to a soft cast or hard cast. Because you're going skiing, we're going to put a hard cast. So. Yeah. And then I had to sing. But that's a story for another day, I guess. Because I think we're out of time. Check your thing. 54. That's probably good. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to end it here, guys. It's been fun.
Talking
today.
about pain, yeah.
Hope you enjoyed our pain that we endured over our childhoods.
I swear, if this gets more views than our like average,
I'm gonna call it something like our painful experiences or something. Yeah, gotta get something to draw people in.
I know that
I'm
if
not
this,
super clickbaity.
this is gonna definitely show what you guys are. You like our
Yeah.
pain. It's uncomfortable. It's pain, guys.
I feel like most people on YouTube, like, that's why like challenge videos are really
That's true.
popular, because they're like, yeah, we want to see you fail
Like
and
funny, haha, but
and
it's like,
get hurt.
yeah.
That's why like Team Edge did a lot of like, if we miss, we get hurt. Or it's like they did this one video where they had to walk across a line. This video is great, by the way. They had to walk across a line, and if they fell in one section, it was like mouse traps. One section was like Legos, and then like the last section was like donuts. So it was like, but while you're walking, you have to get pelted by things. So like one section was like bows and arrow, like the crossfire bows, the ones with
Wow.
like the rubber ends.
Ow, still.
And there was like a section of like Nerf guns, and like frisbees was the first section where you just chuck frisbees at them.
Frisbees hurt.
Yeah, that video is great though. I recommend it.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's all the time we have
Which
for
kind
today.
of proves it. Okay, we'll see you guys in the next time where we're talking about something.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.